This meeting is being recorded.
Welcome to Practices in Conscious Connecting. My name is Deborah Leanne, and I am your host, and I have a background for many years in training and leadership development. And I always kept that separate from my spiritual life and got deeply into Native American spirituality and a variety of other modalities, energy work, magic school, mystery schools. And one of the things that took me quite a while to integrate was the embodiment piece. As a highly spiritual and intellectual person who was very active in doing and serving my community and being a mother and a consultant and all of those things, the last frontier for me was to embody, was to be in my body, to discover that that is the alignment that for me was missing. So today, we're not going to be practicing together, which is where this work really begins, but we will start by practicing on an internal landscape. And many of the women and men that I work with are very spiritual people. And yet there's a disconnect with taking that space of Zen and beauty and peace that we feel on the yoga mat or on the meditation cushion or after a deep dive in some type of spiritual work. And there's this rough re-entry, for me anyway, into the real world. Like as soon as I come back from a retreat, then like my whole life tends to blow up or something like that. And for a long time, I didn't understand how to keep both, how to be in my life fully and to bring that beautiful connectedness through. So let me give you a few practices that have worked for me, and I invite you to practice on your own. Make them your own. I will guide you, and you're welcome to use this recording as a backup and just turn back into whatever minute this is. I'll post it in the comments below the video. So let's just begin. And what I would invite you to do is to have nothing in your lap. And if you're sitting straight up, maybe with a cushion behind your back, ideally with your feet on the floor, and just arrive. To allow your body, if you actually can wiggle your butt a little bit and kind of feel your sits bones dropping in and connecting to the cushion or the chair. Allowing your feet to fully connect with the ground and feel if you could actually expand the soles of your feet, like you're wanting to absorb as much of that connection to Mother Earth as you can. And we're just going to breathe. So allow yourself to either lower your gaze or close your eyes and focus. Feeling the air coming in through your nose, exhaling through your mouth, listening to the sound almost like your own internal ocean waves in and out. See if you can bring your belly, your breath all the way down so that it expands your belly. These are our first breaths when we came into the world. Our baby self learned to breathe in this way. Expanding the belly and relaxing the belly. And as we do so, be very aware of your body. What sensations do you feel? Are there places that are cooler, warmer? Do you feel any tightness or constriction? Maybe a tightness around where your clothes meet your body. And noticing if you can just notice that and not want it to change. The same with pain. If we feel discomfort, very often we want to take something like ibuprofen. I just had some dental work and I wanted to take ibuprofen to relieve myself from the discomfort. But we're quick to wanting to feed our anxiety, to want our pain to go away, to wish our discomfort away. So where I'm going to ask that you just notice it and welcome it and allow it to be. And as you drop down even further into your body and you start to the relaxing place, see if you can notice what thoughts are crossing through, just like clouds in the sky. Allow them to be there. Don't push them away. Don't say, I can't be thinking anything right now, or I'll think of, just let them go. And it's such a beautiful practice of just noticing, saying, hello, tightness in my neck. Hello, discomfort there. That memory of that there that doesn't feel good. Emotions will arise, thoughts will arise, sensations, physical sensations will arise, and we are going to welcome everything. And this is what I call embodiment. This is when we actually allow our mind, our heart, our body, and our spirit, our energy system to all be in alignment and for us to be present to it. We rarely do this. We spend a lot of time in our heads, or a lot of time in the pain of something, the physical sensations of something, or a lot of time dwelling in emotional thoughts, feelings. And I would like to see, and this is an ongoing practice for me, how often you can be with everything. If you're feeling an emotion of sadness or worry, can you go underneath that and go, what's my body thinking about this, feeling about this? What is my mind? What story is my mind telling me about this? There's all kinds of other things connected to that moment, that sensation, that feeling, that emotion, that idea, that concept. And I believe that this is where we're going as human beings, is to be integrated in a way, it's called integral way of being. It's an integral level of development where we don't push away what we don't want. And very often we do that, especially as spiritual people. We don't feel that it's right or good to feel lust or feel anger or feel discontent or discord. And yet that's part of life. It's part of what makes us this beautiful, complex human that we are. So another way to word what I do and what I teach and what I guide leaders into is being radically human. When we operate in a place where we are fully online, we get a chance to connect in a different way with others. Because first, that connection comes from within. Am I connected to my intellect, to my emotions, to my physical sensations, to my spirit, to who I am as a divine being, all at the same time? I'm going to take you through a centering practice. That's something that I do with every client I work with. At every workshop, I start with typically this practice. And I didn't start with it today because I wanted to give a bit of an introduction. So we're starting from that place of feeling our bodies in our sitting position, feeling our legs and our feet totally heavy and almost like we have a weighted blanket. And very often this is a great exercise to do standing up. Feeling your connection through your legs, down through your feet, like you're being pulled down. And this is that grounding feeling of holding us into our humanity, holding us into our body, and what connects us to this planet, that gravity. And it's a beautiful sense of being nourished and held and supported. And for many of us, we don't really know what it's like to let go and let ourselves be supported. Maybe in a divine way or in a spiritual way, but not so much in a physical way. So allowing our bodies to relax into this lower half of our body at the same time as lengthening the upper half of our body. So our spine is elongated, our neck is elongated, our head is being pulled up almost as if we're trying to be as tall as we can be to connect to our divine self, our highest and best. So I invite you to be your full length, your full height. And what this allows you to be in this juxtaposition of physical and divine is this is your dimension of dignity. I like to think of it as your dimension of value, of the worth that you are inherently by being alive. And breathe into that and feel the full length of your body. Relaxed on the bottom half and energetically flowing upwards in the top half so that we're elongating our light all the way down and up. Connecting heaven to earth, if you'd like to say, or earth to heaven. The next dimension we want to focus on is to focus on stretching that beautiful column of light that we created out from shoulder to shoulder, out through your ears, through both hemispheres of your brain, through both hips, both feet. If we were standing or if you are standing, shift your weight back and forth between the two legs, noticing that I am not just this middle, but I am these two sides as well that extend out. And we can energetically extend our energy out as far as our arms can stretch and beyond. This is our dimension of connection. We can hold it in and we can stretch it out if we want to have a bigger, wider connection to more people, to the planet, to being in service to humanity. We can hold it in And we don't necessarily need to do that to protect, but sometimes it's more sometimes if we just want to be quiet and still and connected internally and turning off the external noise so that we can be fully present to self. So this is a control valve that we are in charge of. So practicing that dimension of width in your connection with self and with the world, internal and external, and ideally both. The third connection, the third dimension is back to front. Very often we get intense and we lean forward and we want to be living in the future. We get excited about something. We want to go into that dimension. Or if we've not been feeling so happy or we're a little depressed or in grief mode, we might be hanging out a lot back in here in the past. And so this place of center, of not leaning into the future, not hanging out in the past, in this beautiful divine moment of now, that is presence. And just like we've got the full column of our dignity and our inherent value and our connection dimensions turned on, we want to turn on that present self and feel all of that. And the fourth dimension is kind of you might want to call it your spiritual dimension, but it is your purpose. Why are you here on the planet? Contemplate that for a minute. What lights you up? What brings you joy? What gifts do you uniquely have that you are here to share? It could be something as simple as just loving someone, or feeling that sense of peace when you're in the garden digging into the earth, or walking and moving and dancing out under the sky, or feeling connected to the stars in some way. Whatever that sense of you being connected to your allness, your wholeness, your holiness, let's bring that forth in a way that is your warmth. So typically, when I think of something or someone or an experience that brought me such joy and bliss, it brings a smile to my face. It lights me up. So some place or revisiting or imagination of something that brings you that light that is you, allow that to fill you. Almost like if you imagine your power center, your pelvic bowl, being filled with the light from the earth, the light from divine, the energy of being connected to all. And now we're going to put in the special sauce that is your unique light and gifts and amazing brilliance. Add that, and your cauldron has been lit up with you. That is the place to connect with others from. When I am fully on fire, lit up from within, being me, in the present, opening my full energetic self, my heart space, my mind space, my ear space to connect to others, and in my full dimension of physicality and divinity. Now, I find that this takes a lot of practice to do this and then connect with another person. And I'm really hoping that we get a chance to do this one-on-one together or in a group setting so that we can practice. Can I stay in, lit up, all here, all connected, and then consciously bring that forward to connecting with you? Can you do it with me? Can we notice where we start to escape, where we start to move out of that space? And is it more mental? Is it energetic? Is it emotional fear? How can we stay with our hearts open and connected? It doesn't mean that fear isn't going to be present. It just means we don't choose it to run us. So I kind of feel like I toggle. I can kind of do it on, off, kind of like intermittent Wi-Fi, which is not very good if you're doing a video conference where the words cut out. A strong, true connection comes from an integrated, whole, aligned person to another. And with that, I'll end for today. But I would love to hear any questions you have or any ideas on how we can practice this more with each other, or what happens when you do practice. What successes do you have? Where do you escape? Those are all things I'd love to know. So have an amazing day. Connect and consciously connect and practice and practice and practice. It's the only way we'll learn. Take good care.